interesting. Let's check this out. Oh, wow. Holographic. Cool. Exclusive modes. Nice. Mini wizard mode. I never get wizard modes, but maybe the players will. Looks pretty cool. Looks almost like it would be from the show. I wonder how much this thing costs. I know the
Arcade Heroes.
Greetings, it's Adam with ArcadeHeroes.com, and Pinball Expo 2022 is about to start tomorrow from when I'm recording this. And with that, you tend to get a bunch of announcements on stuff. Stern chose today to unveil their new Mandalorian topper, and as my reaction there showed previously, yeah, this is a non-starter for me. I've talked about the economics of pinball in a modern arcade in a couple of previous videos on my channel before. If you haven't caught those, go ahead, and got the links in the description. Definitely recommend the follow-up one. The deeper dive as I get into more detail there, and share some numbers from other operators, so it wasn't just myself. But pinball by itself already struggles to earn, and that's just the evidence that I see from myself, from others, regardless of what business model's being used, free play or per token. I use the latter. And mods are cool. I have put a mod here and there on my machines. Nothing as significant as a topper like this one, but this is one problem with pinball, I guess you could say, culture or the market as how it unfolds, because there is such a super strong focus on collectors. Sometimes this stuff really is just more appealing for collectors than it is an operator. I've not seen any evidence. Now, if there is an operator out there who has this evidence, then I'd love to hear it, but I've not seen any evidence that mods really help the earnings on any pinball machine whatsoever. Now, again, I've not had a topper other than my Adams family, where it just came with that topper that occasionally flashes lights into the clouds, which is a cool effect, but it's not anything as significant as this Mandalorian topper. Admittedly, this is very cool to have a pseudo holographic effect going on. This makes it the most interesting and intricate topper that I've ever seen. It's far better than the topper that Stern released for Jurassic Park, which really just seemed to be like some lights and plexiglass, and so nothing special. And to be fair, I totally understand the issues with inflation out there. I mean, I live in the same economy as everybody else. I have a family to feed, and it's really been very, very difficult lately with not just gas, but mainly food, and just how much those costs have gone up, but just everything else. I mean, in addition to my arcade, I work another job as well to try and produce some income. I don't really make anything off of Arcade Heroes. Anything that does come into it really just gets put back into the site, and it has become more expensive to operate the site as I've had to upgrade some things on the back end there. But yeah, just something that's going to cost $2,000, it's nuts. And I also, again, I understand, and I don't hold anything against Stern needing to make some money, but, and I get that inflation is also part of the problem here. Had this been released a couple of years back, it probably wouldn't be costing quite that much. Maybe it would only be $1,000, although even at $1,000, I would still just be like, I don't know about that. But again, the problem is that pinball doesn't seem like anything that they've tried on this, and I'm glad they're still trying to find something that helps it earn better. But like I have Stern Insider connected on my Mandalorian. I've seen no change in how much it's earned. I've only added one mod to my Mandalorian. It's a pro model. The sticker of the Gina Carano character, which was supposed to be there in the first place, but they removed it. And on some other games like Ghostbusters, I've added some slime ramps on there. Nothing really that changes the game, and most of the mods don't change the game. But again, for business use, which is really what pinball is made for first and foremost. I know collectors don't like to hear that, but I mean, again, these are coin-operated games. It's what they're made to do, is make money on at a location. When you add something like this, it needs to show that it's bringing that value to pay itself off, and I just don't see it. I mean, maybe in the reseller market down the road it can add that, but I really hate that this is what pinball's become, that the base price on everything has skyrocketed. The James Bond pinball machines start at $8,000. Jersey Jack's new Toy Story 4 starts at $12,000, and already at the prices where things were at previously, pinball just wasn't making enough to have a good return on investment within a reasonable time frame. It's, as I mentioned before, that it's pretty much pays itself off when you sell it, and that's assuming that it hasn't depreciated in value. Now, yes, pinballs do hold their value a bit better than most other products out there, and on rare occasion they might appreciate, but then again, if you take into account inflation, maybe not so much. But yeah, and then on top of that, just speaking as somebody that's on the front line of Main Street, it being in a type of business that relies very much on people's disposable income, 2022 sucks economically. I don't care what politicians or media heads say. We've been in a recession for a little while, and the numbers that I've seen from running 2 arcade locations all year long, everything is behind where 2021 was. And now I'm still being able to keep my doors open, although as I've mentioned in a previous video, I'm looking at closing my second location very likely, and things have not been getting better for me to change my mind on that yet. I'm still holding out hope, but it's just looking more grim as things pass. I've seen lots of news about a lot of layoffs, particularly in the tech sector, but it's been hitting some other sectors too. The housing market is really starting to drag, and so this stuff is just snowballing, and there's no indication yet that anything's going to be getting better. And so with that in the back of my mind, I'm just like, why would I spend $2,000 on this when Stern's not provided any evidence whatsoever that it is going to make it earn better? And that's one complaint that I could have against every pinball manufacturer. They never release numbers. Like, what they should be doing is testing these things out on location, then providing numbers, and not just testing one cherry-picked location, but from various different locations. And they should take something like this, test at a location, and be able to show, hey, look, this does increase earnings by this much from what we've seen testing across multiple sites. Then that way this justifies the $2,000 extra price tag. We don't get any of that. As far as I can tell, it's just, well, since pinball tends to hold its value or it appreciates on occasion, you add this on there and you'll be able to sell your Mandalorian here in a year or two with that extra $2,000. And sorry for business, that just doesn't make sense. For a collector, perhaps it does, but again, not for me. But maybe I'm wrong, and maybe there's an operator out there who does see massive gains from adding a topper. I'd love to hear from you if you do, but even then, it's just like, man, as much as I'd love to add one of these to my Mandalorian for $2,000, not a snowball's chance in heck. So let me know what you think about this, and we'll catch you on the next video.